Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew. Today playing this spicy blue-white Enigma Jewel Control, bringing this into a traditional standard event here. The Enigma Jewel. Okay, so the Hobbit set is out, right? I clearly have not dipped my toes into the Hobbit stuff that much. These latest videos are not very Hobbit card-filled, whatever. But with the bans, the recent bans in standard, Storm Chaser's Talent, Grand Cran, and Badger Mole Cub, of course, I was like, these are all cards that come down early, generate huge advantages across games, and I was like, there's got to be like some other kernel of something left around in standard that does something very similar that maybe I can try to break. And for some reason this popped into my head. It's 1 mana, right? And it adds 2 mana, and that's got to be good. At face value, that's got to be pretty good. Enters tapped, of course, and you have to spend it to use it on Yeah, I'm choosing my wording because you have to use it on not activated abilities, but to activate abilities, right? And there's a clear distinction there because cycling is an ability that you activate, but it's not like an activated ability on a card, right? So you can use the Enigma Jewel's mana to cycle cards like Spectacular Pileup or Valor's Flagship. And you can also use it as, of course, for activated abilities like Demolition Field, lands, etc., Candy Trail. Even leveling up is an activated ability that you can use the Enigma Jewel's mana for. So that is the idea here. Get ahead on mana with Enigma Jewel. Cycle our Valor's Flagship for a big board of 1/1 pilots, and then in the late game, do that for enough pilots, double or triple abandon Air Temple, give them all +1/+1, and swing at our opponent to kill them. That is like the core idea. The rest of the deck is kind of built on getting there and, kind of diversifying our game plan. We're a pretty good Ugin deck. We have quite a few colorless cards that we can cast and recur and cast with our Does Machines. Pretty good Does Machines deck, kind of a card that hasn't seen too much play in standard. I don't want to get into the weeds on all of the synergies here because there are quite a few, but at our core, we're trying to stick like an early Monument, trying to follow it up with a Does Machines or whatever cyclers we have, interact with our opponent, try to get into the late game, and eventually just overwhelm our opponent with kind of really hard to interact with stuff. Like, if you stop and think about it, Valor's Flagship is a great control finisher, the cycling piece, because it can't be countered, right? And you can do it at instant speed to make a big board, which is kind of hard to interact with outside of effects like Fire Magic, specifically is the main one that could get you. Or I did run into someone playing Modok, the 5 mana weird like potato head guy from the Marvel set, which gives all creatures your opponent's control -1/-1, so that that's definitely a way that can slow you down there. But we have a lot of versatility, a lot of flexibility, a lot of fun one-ofs that we can play like in a Stellar Reclaimer 3 steps ahead that hopefully we can get some value out of over the course of a long game, or discard away what we don't need. Kind of a cool part about this list is you can start activating Agna Kela as soon as turn 2. You can activate a Demolition Field on turn 2. A lot of flexibility here. Fountain Port off to the races, right? But outside of that, we're just trying to play a long, controlling game, make as much use out of the extra mana from Enigma Jewel as we can. And yeah, I guess I would say buckle up for a long league because I expect us to be getting into some grindy games here. The activated ability on, the craft ability on Enigma Jewel will never see the light of day. It does nothing for us, really. I guess we could exile 4 Candy Trails maybe and in a really desperate situation do that, but no, for the most part we just want this as extra mana. As for our sideboard, a few Soul Guide Lanterns, a Seam Rip, a couple Voice of Victories to slow down our opponents like Counter Magic, Flash Freeze for the green / Jeskai Rev decks, a couple Settle the Wreckage. There's our Hobbit tech. Spectacular Pileup and Settle the Wreckage make us pretty decent into Sapling Nursery, which is seeing a bit of a renaissance. And then a couple Elspeth Storm Slayers for just threat diversity, basically. Good grindy late game card when we don't need as much interaction. Petrified Hamlet, 1 in the main, 1 in the side. And 3 Sunken Citadels to make use of all of the utility lands that we are playing here. Pretty fun list. Surprisingly pretty good, I think. Let's go ahead and hop into a league here and hopefully get through some matches pretty quickly. Match 1. On the draw, I got a mulligan this. We really want to see the Jewel in our opener. This is not that bad. We'll keep this. Let's skip on the spectacular pile up here. Possibly a good card for the matchup depending on what we're up against here, but going in blind, we'll skip on it here. Lead on the Candy Trail. Very strong card in my opinion. Really extends the range of keepable hands. Early Scry helps you find your land drops, sets up your hand really nicely. Opponent also on some kind of slower deck, presumably. This is going to be a tough matchup for us, I think. Probably of all the matchups I could think of, the Dimir Excruciator list is overall pretty tough. We'll rip our Does Machines, discard a couple flagships here. But we hit a monument in the graveyard, which is nice. Getting that online early is maybe one of the ways we can win in this matchup, assuming it is the Dimir Excruciator matchup. The real problem for us is Cavern of Souls. Like, Cavern of Souls just lets them play their demon or play Caballero, Superior Spider-Man, what have you, uncounterably. They exile my graveyard. That's fine. We're on to another Does Machines. Okay. So basically, if they do their Excruciator thing, we are pretty unlikely to be able to beat that, but that's okay. We'll try to put up as much of a fight as we can here. I think I'm just gonna pass. Do the Candy Trail thing here, and then next turn probably go like play another Does Machines and level one of them up. Soulstone Sanctuary, Unholy Annex. Well, that's not too bad. Let's just go ahead and Aang's Iceberg the Annex here. We can definitely play around that. Maybe they're not doing Excruciator Demon stuff. Demolition Field. Let's go for another Does Machines here. Hitting some artifacts now, and we draw into a Normalize. That's pretty good. Skip on a flagship. I think let's skip on a Candy Trail. I think Ugin's like a good eventual play here. And I think I'm just gonna activate one of my Does Machines now. Make sure I get some value out of this while I have things to grab out of my graveyard. I'm tapping out, so I'm not holding up the Normalize here, but I think that's probably okay. They don't really have it like a good Superior Spider-Man that turn. Let's go ahead and activate this Candy Trail, try to redraw. I could also, if I really wanted to, play a Candy Trail first, scry, and then probably guarantee redraw into a land drop. I think that's probably a little better. Play a Candy Trail, scry, and then I'll be able to hold up Normalize this turn if I hit an untapped land. Eey. Not super ideal for us here. They can't even really cast a demon anyway, because they have this Soulstone Sanctuary and an island. Maybe they're not playing Excruciator combo. They clearly have some kind of something here, though. I think I'm going to rip a Candy Trail. I think I'd much rather just try to hit a land here. Ooh, drawn to Enigma Jewel. I guess maybe I should have left up blue mana for that specific case. Yeah, that thinking about what I wanted to leave up there, I probably should have remembered that we're a big Enigma Jewel deck, but we'll have it for next turn. Cross our fingers that we hit our land drops, I suppose. Opponent has a Consult the Star Charts. Also missing their land drops, interestingly enough. Okay. Go for the Enigma Jewel here. I'm going to hold off on activating the Candy Trail this turn. It's a little better to just wait and use, pay off the Enigma Jewel, have something to go with that. So let's just go for the Monument this turn. See if that's any good. Still missing our land drops, but maybe they decide to counter this. You go for like 3 steps ahead. Yep, counter, draw, discard. Okay. Possibly setting up their Excruciator here. No, skips on a Requiting Hex. Makes sense to me. Unholy Annex, fine. You have a Get Lost in hand for that. This we're not that scared of. Enigma Jewel is legendary, so having extras doesn't really help us too much, but we have ways to discard the extras, so on the full playset here. Let's set a stop on their second main. Let's put this Sunken Citadel on white. And let's activate the Enigma Jewel now. We can pick up the pick up some stuff out of our graveyard with Does Machines and sack a Candy Trail here. I think that all looks pretty good. Eventually, a big Valor's Flagship cycle will be good in our future, but as for now, I think this looks all okay. We hit our land drop. We have a lot of stuff to hold up here, including a Get Lost for the Annex if we need to. But if they just want to make a demon, I don't think that's like a big deal for us. Fur Core, fine. Let's just go ahead and Get Lost the Annex here then. See if they care about that. We're a pretty good Ugin deck, though. I don't really make too many Ugin decks, but and they scoop it up to whatever we're doing here. they don't want to play the long game. They hate that I have interaction for their Unholy Annexes, I guess. Let's cut down on the Erodes. Bring in the Elspeths. Voice of Victory seems pretty good here as well. Leaving the Get Lost. Against Dimir, I think maybe we can cut an Enigma Jewel. They're not really going to have much interaction for it anyway. Not that many people tend to bring in interaction for stuff like this, but you really should. Like, the value you get in the long game just by, like, essentially turning all of your Candy Trails into 1 mana, scry 2, draw 1, gain 3, that's all pretty good. And the big cycles on the flagships. Yeah, I don't know. I think this looks okay. They don't seem super graveyard oriented up front, but maybe hedging on a couple Soul Guide Lanterns looks okay. Maybe go down a spectacular pile up or 2. Try it like that. Okay, I mean, not a bad hand. Pretty good into like something like Duress. Just all the redundancy here. They could take a Monument. I'm gonna guess they take the Monument, but we just get it back with Does Machines. This card has been very, very impressive for this list. We don't really care about the mill that much. We don't make full use of that, but really it's like the discard and the card selection. And the eventuality of the third level is something that we can access pretty consistently. By the nature of having all that extra mana from the Enigma Jewel, so on and so forth. I think I'm just going to play an untapped white source, pass, hold up to Get Lost in case their whole plan is like turn 3 Annex here. And then I'll go for a Monument myself. I think that looks pretty okay. They can counter it if they want. Not the end of the world. Once again, we can just get it back with Does Machines potentially in the future here. And they scoop it up. Okay, match 1 in the books. Opponent being considerate, saving me a little bit of time in this league. I think they're just like, yeah, I'm in Dimir. My opponent just resolved a Monument. I don't have any ways to answer this on the board, so they're like, scoop it up. That's the reason. And I talk about this all the time, but that's the reason Deceit is so good / important for like the good Dimir builds. Is it just gives you a way to answer everything on the board. Artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, hits everything. Not lands, I guess, but not especially in that color combination, you're at the mercy of your opponent's Sing Say or whatever. Okay, on to the next one, I suppose. match 2 on the play. Man is a little slow, but I am going to keep this. We'll lead on a Sunken Citadel. No, I guess I have to lead on the Agnikela on blue. We'll play a turn 2 Enigma Jewel, and then put the Citadel on white. That'll give us no more lies on turn 3, and then we can cycle the Spectacular Pileup with the Enigma Jewel. Opponent leads on an Orzhov Guildgate, so I'm feeling like pretty confident this is a slam dunk dub, and that they're not really going to be able to interact with what we're doing here. Go ahead and pass. Valor's Flagship already looking pretty good. Not only do you get a lot of soldiers, or pilots rather, but of course you get to cycle it for a redraw. And we call that value in the biz. We call that value. I'm sure Spectacular Pileup is good here, but I'll just go ahead and cycle it anyway. Start hitting my land drops. Fountain Port online. Very cheap Fountain Port with which we can make a lot of treasures right off the bat kind of here, actually. Cat Collector. Okay. It begins. It begins. Well, I don't know what it is about these leagues. I say it every time, but these they tend to bring out the black-white Lifegain cat lists, and this time we've been blessed with a combination of the two, cats and Lifegain. Pass it to you. I think I might just start making a bunch of pilots here. We'll see. Twin Blade Paladin, you got it, Sir Dabbington. Scoured Barons, okay. 1, 2, 3. X is 4. Pretty happy with this. Oh my lord, it's broken. I actually think it's really good. It's like, it's just so much mana for 1 mana. And yes, you have what is arguably like a relatively inefficient effect, but the fact that it's really inevitable in a way and kind of hard to interact with makes it kind of good, actually. It's like you're just eventually going to be able to cycle this for X is 7, swing in, blah 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 blah, make a lot of 1/1s, redraw. It's all pretty good. No Abandoned Air Temple quite yet. I think that's kind of what we want to play to. Let's get our does machines going here, I think. Discard a Spectacular Pileup. Discard a No More Lies. I don't think any of this matters. I think we can just kind of do our thing a little better than they can do their thing. Level up the does machines. Pick up our stuff. And play a monument here. I think all of that looks pretty good. Not really seeing like a future where they get to swing through into me anytime soon. And with the monument on the field, it turns all of our like cycles into redraws or extra draws, or treasures in case we want to go for like a fast Ugin, or eventually, you know, of course, burn our opponent out. And sometimes sometimes that just happens. You're all familiar with Monument by this point, surely. It's had a pretty storied tenure in Standard by this point. Moment of Craving on a 1/1. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Dabbington. When I run against this kind of list in these like Standard League videos, you know, usually I don't make videos on the ranked ladder too often anymore, but should I skip these in the edit? Like, should I just kind of like stop recording and be like, yeah, I ran into a dinky black-white Lifegain list? Or I'm not trying to be a hater or anything, you know, play what you enjoy, but there's an optimal Lifegain list and there are just suboptimal Lifegain lists, you know, and I'm thinking this is one of those suboptimal ones. Let's name Demolition Field just in case. I have them myself, but I don't plan on blowing anything up of theirs, probably. I guess I could have named the Restless Black-White Restless Land. I think I'm just gonna cycle. Maybe I fire up the Does Machines. I think I'm just gonna cycle Valor's Flagship for big. Pass it here. Cycle Valor's Flagship for big, draw some cards, eventually hit an Ugin and just kind of seal the deal that way. There's just nothing they can do. Dazzling Angel, yeah, it's just a lack of card quality, really, and no real early pressure. I could just, just as easily cycle into a board wipe here and be that much, that far ahead. Doesn't really matter. Only 2 spectacular pileups left in the deck, I suppose, but we do dig pretty quickly. Swinging in. All right, might as well go for this now. X is 6. Kind of nice. Draw a card. Another monument. And there's our abandoned air temple, which is quite good. Do a little Chumperino. And just start activating this every turn. Feel pretty good about that. And we have the Sunken Citadel to make it that much cheaper. So 1, 2, 3, 6 mana left over. Play a monument. Draw and discard with an Agna-Kela. And put counters on my guys. Hold up interaction. Okay, pass it to you. Face the Awesome Might. A Valor's Flagship. Very slept on. Slept on for a long time. It is interesting how long this deck basically has been in Standard. I'm not really playing too many new cards. Does Machines, I suppose, is relatively new, and I don't think you could play this without the Does Machines. Possibly. Swinging in with everything. So, let's Agna-Kela. I don't think our sequencing matters here too much. Another monument. Discard a land. Let's make a treasure so I can abandon Air Temple and then draw a card. Activate the temple. Counters on my guys. I mean, counters on your guys really goes pretty long distance when you have a lot of guys on which to put counters. Surprise, surprise. Kind of ahead on all axes here, except life. I will admit, my life total, they are definitely beating me on life total, but I'm not sure that that's going to matter a whole heck of a lot here. Let's play a couple monuments. Plan to cycle this Valor's Flagship, maybe erode something at this point. I could just activate the Agna-Kela again. Yeah, I think I like that. Activate Agna-Kela and then make a bunch of treasures here. There's Ugin. Just discard a Valor's Flagship at this point. Make treasure. Make treasure. Draw. Draw. There's a spectacular pile up. Agna-Kela. Okay. Pass it to you. I guess I'll hit you with 3 guys. You get 3 guys. Pass it to you. And now I can actually just kill them with the monuments, right? Cycle the spectacular pile up for 12. Angelic Destiny. It gives it 4/4 flying and first strike. No. It's the Angelic Destiny. R.I.P. in peace. Shout out to a real one, wherever you went. Twinblade Paladin. Once again, I'm not hating on someone for playing stuff like this. It's just like, it feels I'm really not used to running into this kind of deck on the ladder, you know? And anytime I run into it in these leagues, I'm just a little flabbergasted. Just a little bit flabbergasted. Resolve our Ugin. Destroyer of Worlds. Nothing matters at this point. Another Abandoned Air Temple. Sure. Draw a card, gain some life. Let's cycle this. Whee! I'm just trying to seal the deal at this point, gang. Looks like we done it. Infinite mana. All right. Well, I expect game 2 to be a little more of the same, so I'll just cut to match 3. I don't think anything particularly exciting is going to happen here, so I'll see you in the third match. Okay, got the win pretty handily in game 2. On to the next one. 2-0 so far. Match 3 on the play. Very mono white hand. I think we can do better. Okay. Slow-ish, but I do like this better. Let's skip on the pile-up, perhaps. Lead on a Kela. And then we can get white off the Sunken Citadel. Sleight of hand for my opponent. Possibly, is it, Spelementals, perhaps? Let's go with our... Could go with the Sunken Citadel, but I think I'd rather just get a Candy Trail going here. I don't think it super matters. Let's just go for the Candy Trail. Do a little scry. Ugin is eventually very good here. I think I do want an Ugin in my hand. I think it's eventually quite good in this sort of fair-ish matchup. Let's eat the Candy Trail. Drawn to a white source. I guess I'll just go for an untapped Fountain Port. Eat their Spire Bluff Canal. I suppose I'll do that in their upkeep. Access white mana that way. I also could use a second blue source to activate the Agnikela. Options upon options. Citadel on the field would be kind of nice for all of these activated abilities I have here, though. They draw. I demo. Yeah, maybe I'll just go for an island here. I don't expect that I'll be doing anything with my white mana anytime soon, and activating the Agnikela just could be what we're up to next turn. I guess maybe I would have rode a Hearth Elemental if that's what they had. Let's go Citadel on white. Maybe I just make a treasure here, actually. And then I'm that much closer to Ugin. I'll pass it to you. Big chillin'. Ugin, you know, you don't see it a whole lot. I see it somewhat frequently. I never think it looks that good, but against like a pretty fair meta, it's pretty good, especially with the meta slowing down overall. Could be Ugin's time to shine. Let's just make treasure here. I think that'll be pretty good long term. Another Agnikela. Doesn't really matter. Play this and pass. Artist talent. I don't really care about that too much. Perhaps. I don't know. Who knows what my opponent's up to? Clearly going to be some kind of spelemental thing. There's a monument. That could be a little tough for us to deal with. Maybe I'm supposed to cycle here. Rip the Agnikela, try to hit a No Moralize. That could be correct. Blue. Enigma Jewel. Activate the Kela. See if I hit a No Moralize. Try to counter this. The pile up. I'll just discard that. Doesn't seem super relevant here. They might have a counterspell for my Ugin, but at the very least I can... Oh, 3 steps ahead. At the very least I can exile their artist talent on cast, which is pretty relevant. They'd have to have, like, Quench here, you know, but I don't... Oh, they have We Say Thee Nay in their list, and they've shown that to me. Okay, well, I kind of played into that one, I will admit. Had I seen them discard that We Say Thee Nay, I probably wouldn't have gone for the Ugin quite yet, but it is what it is here. Kind of 2-for-1-ish, but I think we could have gotten a bit more mileage out of the Ugin than that. Flow state, yeah. Okay. Looks like it's a Fountain Port kind of game. Ral Quackling Wit. Drawing and discarding. Kind of a classic monument sort of affair here. Let's just deal with the Ral. Keep them from making otters here. Pass. Hold up my interaction. I think I'll play this island. Could hold on to it to discard to 3 steps, but I think extra blue for double Agnikella potential is pretty good. Or to make a treasure, 3 to activate Agnikella, that's also pretty good. Getting a lot more information as to what my opponent's up to. Fun to see at least something slightly different out here on the ladder, or in a league rather. And they're repping the the Flubs the Fool drip, no less. Gotta respect that. Got to respect that. Opt. Opt is fine. We're thinking about Soul Guide Lantern from the sideboard. We're thinking about Elspeth, maybe? I don't have any Anoles, but maybe Anole would be fine for our sideboard as well. I have to assume they've got some kind of reason to be on this many cantrips besides just like triggering the artist talent, but maybe not. So let's make treasure. Make sure we tap properly here. Activate the Kella. Could also maybe make fish, but I think this is okay. Discard Kella. Hit an Aang's Iceberg. That's not bad. Use it to hit their monument. Probably go for that on their end step. Probably go, well, rather my end step when they go to activate their Kella or something. Opt. Getting kind of hungry. IRL. This is my 3rd recorded video of the day. Hopefully you can't tell that I'm losing steam. But I'll be gone this weekend, so I was just trying to get some... I had kind of a big empty free day with nothing going on. So I figured I'd try to pump out some videos of stuff I've been working on lately. And here we are in the final one. Discard's an impractical joke. Does nothing against us. Pass it to ya. Hold up a big 3 steps ahead. Artiste's talent. That's fine. I think that's fine. It'll give him some good card selection, I suppose, but I think we're a little more concerned about this monument, right? I don't think I go for the full 3 steps ahead. Play around the We Say Thee Nay. Just counter this. 2 mana left open, right? Counters with the 3 steps ahead. That's fine. That's okay. Could I have held up like Fountain Port in this all of this? Or I don't think so. Probably not. They have an artist's talent officially. We have an erode that's kind of rotting in our hand, but we can pretty easily filter it away here. They burn a 3 steps ahead on my 3 steps ahead. They're tapped out. Kind of primed and ready for a big Ugin draw. Their list looks pretty fun, very spell heavy. I'm gonna guess at this point, no Hearth Elemental, no Sunderflock. Just a big ol' Monument Mirror going on here. Couple different flavors of Monument. They're drawing cards, 23 cards left in their deck. I mean, if I just rip a big Valor's Flagship, I'm kind of like primed and ready for that to be kind of awesome. Let's go for an Agna Kela activation. Draw into a Monument. That's not bad. Fountain Port. Temple. Leave up some mana to activate Agna Kela. Get our Monument on the field. Pass it back. And then we have the mana from Citadel plus a treasure to activate this Agna Kela. Activates their artist talent. Second Monument, threatening to kind of do me in pretty quickly here. But once again, if I draw Valor's Flagship, we have the quote-unquote combo here set up pretty nicely. Gotta assume they're gonna start chunking me. No, you know, they have to win eventually, right? I guess they're just expecting to be able to trigger this all 3 times. So you might as well draw first. Okay. Monument's going crazy. So 15, 9, 6, 3. I basically have 1 draw step unless I hit it. Oh, another Monument. That'll probably do me in. Not a whole lot I can do about that. I have 1 untapped step, basically. I have to be able to answer all these Monuments. I just don't think I will be able to. Okay, fair enough. Let's fire up our Agna Kela here. Handy Trail gains us a little life. We have to kind of draw into Ugin, right? Maybe. Ugin plus Candy Trail. No More Lies. Too little too late for No More Lies. Let's go Fountain Port on the Candy Trail. Do a little scry. I think if we draw into Ugin, we can manage their artist talent. Maybe, just maybe, that's enough to stabilize us, and so we'll you know, go to 21, and their artist talent will be off the field. Another Monument for us. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to recover here. Cast our Monument. I'm assuming they're going to counter this. I'm just trying to dig to get to 21 life at this point, but I don't think that's enough realistically either. With their triple Monument field. They're just too far ahead too quickly. But that's okay. I think we could look kind of good in post board here. 3 steps ahead. Yeah, I'm just going to scoop it up. Too much damage over the course of these turns. They hit me for 9 here. They untap. They killed me. Okay. Cut and erode. Cut. Let's leave the get losts. Let's go down the pile-ups. Look pretty poor. Let's go up the flash freezes, maybe? They hit traumatic critiques. I think Elspeth looks decent here. Seam Rip looks pretty good. Voice of Victory looks very good. Flash freeze. it only really hits the artist talent and maybe like a big traumatic critique. Spell Pierce would be a lot better. Voice of Victory, kind of our killer here. Let's bring in a couple Soul Guide Lanterns to try to keep them off of flow states being good. Go down the erodes. Let's just cut the erodes. Get Lost hits Ral, hits artist talent. Try it like that. Gonna be a little bit of a tough matchup. I think it really depends on like whether or not we see Voice of Victory in our opener, whether or not we are able to just like counter their monuments, I guess, on the stack. We'll see what their boarding looks like, but could be a tough one. Match 3, game 2 on the play. Pretty Garbo hand. Mulligan that. Okay. I will keep this. We'll go turn 1 Jewel. Turn 2 does machines. I guess I put back this Sunken Citadel. Maybe I just put back the 3 steps ahead. But it's much better late game. Turn 1 Jewel. Sleight of hand for my opponent. Could be a good does machines matchup, actually. Just like getting this to level 5 or level 3 as quickly as possible. Could actually be very good here. Ugin. Play the Hamlet. Let's name Great Hall of the Biblioplex. I don't think I want to name Agna Killa. Because I kind of need them too, you know? Draw, discard. Let's get rid of Ugin for now. And Flagship. You can always access them later. Well, not the Ugin. Ugin is gone forever, unfortunately. But pretty early for our Ugin, right? Much better late game draw. Flow state. Pretty weak flow state. Monument. Monument's not bad. Let's go Candy Trail. Try to hit an untapped land. Soul Guide Lantern. That's kind of close. I'll take the Soul Guide Lantern. I think I'll skip on the Seam Rip for now. At the very least, we just like cycle the Soul Guide Lantern, right? But this at least sort of turns off their flow states for a little bit, at the very least. Put the Citadel on white, just to guarantee we have a white source for the future. Although, double blue next turn would be pretty good. They get a monument, we'll get a monument. The monument's all the way down. Elspeth. Let's cycle this Soul Guide Lantern right now. Another Enigma Jewel. Okay. Play a monument. Pass it to ya. Hope that we get to resolve this does machines next turn. Opponent's stuck on red mana. We're stuck on mana in general. They find a red source. They could have a we say the nay, but we drew into probably our best draw, Agna Killa here, just to be able to hold up mana to pay for a we say the nay. Go for our does machines. Hope that they don't have like just a negate, I guess. Would be pretty annoying. We get to do machines. Discard the Enigma Jewel for sure. Discard Candy Trail here, I suppose. Doesn't really matter. Not Elspeth is kind of the main thing. Let's conceal our second monument, I suppose. We will draw. I think I'm just going to draw. Make treasure. Oh, right. I only have the one monument. Let's draw and make treasure. And then level up the... I can level up both of the... I can level up both of these this turn, right? If I use the treasure. It's a kind of a nice way to play around possible like counter magic this turn. We're doing machines. We'll grab our Soul Guide Lantern again. We'll grab another monument. They might counter this. They might not. I don't know. I think if I were them, I wouldn't, but maybe they just should. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty like, you know, we just have like a lot of garbage on the field. And turns out when you just have like a lot of garbage on the field, things just kind of work out. Like we have a lot of options. Really feels like a does machines kind of game where we just put these both on level 3 and start swinging in. That's gonna probably be faster than, or at least it's better into counter magic, basically, right? Where we guarantee like have a pretty good snowballing proactive board that is not reliant on our opponent not having it, you know. Stun locked on the candy trail. The food clue. Kind of a weird card. Opponent in the tank. And they time out? Ooh, that's weird. Voice of Victory is huge. Untapped land's pretty good. Yeah, let's just draw both of these. Maybe I should have drawn the voice first, but maybe it won't be a huge deal. Opponent maybe just like fully AFK'd. They queued into this league with only like 10 minutes to play, and then they happen to run up against the opponent that like wants to play a full 50-minute match, basically. Yeah. Not that I want to play a full 50-minute match, but the deck is pretty good in the long game for sure. I'm gonna count this as a win. No, just kidding. If I write up the report and we 5-0, it'll definitely have an asterisk and be tarnished, but that is a-okay. We'll see if they come back. I'll skip ahead here. Yeah, they fully passed their turn. I wonder if it's some kind of like meta strat. I don't know. I guess I start ripping monuments, right? I can't even really trigger them. What's actually the best thing to do here? Draw into this Voice of Victory, I think. And then cast the voice and then go for a monument. I think it's that. Okay, on to the next one. Match 4 on the play, game 1. To be fair, I do think we were going to win at least that game of match 3, game 2, but would we have won the whole thing? I don't know. Let's mulligan this. No blue mana. Let's mulligan this. No blue mana. Okay. Skip on the Ugin. Skip on the Valor's Flagship for now, I suppose. Get going. Kind of a classic blue-white control hand. Restless Spire. Interesting. Perhaps the least played of the Restless lands. Just a dinky little 2-mana activation for a dinky little 2/1 first strike. They're eyeing my lands like they have a something here. Yeah, let's counter the Molten Core Maestro. I don't think I want to have to deal with that. Demo field. I think I'm going to demo field now for an island. Let's do it in their draw step. Let them draw first, see if they draw another basic. I'm going to go for this now, just so I can start activating the Agna next turn. Sculpt my hand a little better that way, and they could have a relatively low basics count. Let's check it out. Plus, you know, it's a man land at the end of the day. Kind of a classic play just to get rid of this. I don't know what I'm saying. I think I'm losing it. I think I'm officially losing it right now. Third video of the day in the pipeline, but I decided to save for whatever reason the grindiest, most controlling list for last. Although the first list I played today, that black white Sibsig ceremony list, that was an hour and 50-minute league run, which is pretty long as far as these leagues go. So maybe this will be a quick one. Double mountain plus island, color storm stallion, the Italian stallion on the field, hitting me, drawn to a candy trail. That's not bad. Let's go for that here. Hold on to the spectacular pileup, could be relevant. Does machines is a way to kind of accrue some card advantage. Ugin is eventually very good. I think I'd rather just try to draw into an untapped land at this juncture, perhaps. Skip on both of those for now. Ugin on the bottom of our library. Soul Guide Lanterns probably coming in here if I had to guess. Stock up. I could just kill the Stallion here. Give them some maps. Let's see if they hit a land drop. If they... I think... Yeah, maybe I just kill the Stallion here, huh? Keep my life total relatively high. Maybe they won't ever be in a position where the spectacular pileup looks particularly good. Shocks in a Steam Vents. No blocks. Let's see if they go for a cantrip here. What are the odds that they just have Spell Pierce in their main? Doesn't seem super high, right? Go for the Get Lost. Maybe you got it. I guess they could also have like secret identity. They shock themselves. That's very curious to me. Draw into a 3 steps ahead. Okay, I think I'll just pass. No need to rip the candy trail quite yet. Let's hold up the 3 steps ahead. Really got to keep them off of like... Maybe we're incentivized to hold on to this as long as we can to keep them from like resolving an improvisation capstone, but I think actually I'd rather just slow down their mana this way. Counter the tablet feels pretty good. Past 2 year. We are way behind on card advantage. Shocks in another land. Let's go ahead and rip this candy trail right now. Maybe hit some kind of land drop here. Another spectacular pileup. We'll cycle the second one at the very least. Hold up this erode. I'm really afraid of the improvisation capstone, to be honest with you. I think if they resolve that, we probably can't win. But maybe we can. I won't give up. I'll never give up. Molten Core Maestro. Potentially going to go for some maps here. Just play a second Maestro, bro. Play a Stallion. Map on the Maestro. Fine. It's a land. So they're in guaranteed capstone range next turn. Opponent playing a little slowly for my tastes. Not going to hold it against them. They got a lot of choices here. Second map. Kind of has the vibe that they're playing on mobile, perhaps. Cycle the pile up. I think I'd like a candy trail into another Does Machines. There's a Valor's Flagship. Interesting. Oh, do I just erode the Maestro now? I think I kind of have to. Maybe I'll do it in their upkeep. Deny them that extra land there. I think they're, like, I can't just let them cast a capstone with the Maestro on the field, right? Get out. Returns the Maestro to their hand. Fine. That doesn't matter. So that kind of tells me that they have no capstone, perhaps. Or maybe they're just waiting until they can cast it for 9 mana with the Mistrise Village. Keep it uncounterable. Maestro. Let's cycle the flagship. We'll make a 1/1. Keep our deck kind of fluid here. Try to draw into some more powerful cards, recoup some card advantage. I'm thinking about the possibility of like Demolition Field on their Mistrise Village when I can, if they play it next turn. I guess I can't really stop them from doing their thing. Maybe we just need to get a little proactive with it. Like Monument is eventually card advantage. Burst Lightning on the pilot. A little surprising. Candy Trail. Do I just have to go for the Spectacular pile up here? Maestro does some nasty stuff if they untap with it, right? On the other hand, I'm not really like getting any real card advantage unless I go for the Monument, cycle the pile up. I don't think I'm winning this one. I don't think I'm winning this one no matter what. But I will persevere. Let's go for the Monument. Let's check that one out. And then we'll pass. Maybe we pretend we have something here. I can't really stop them from going kind of crazy here. Unless they literally have nothing but lands in their hand. Which is... It's always kind of a possibility. I mean, think back to how often you find yourself in this position, which is like, yeah, actually, I just have 4 lands in my hand. Kind of feels like that's potentially happening right now, as they swing with a 3/3 Maestro without buffing it at all, and they also didn't counter my Monument. So what could they have? If they had a Burst Lightning, they would kick it, you know. If they had a Capstone, they would go for it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They would just do it if they had it. Okay. Let's go in. Let's cycle the pile up. Draw a card. Try to get some advantage here. Two mana, draw 2, instant speed ain't bad. They're eyeing something in their hand now. I guess it could be like a Traumatic Critique. They're playing around No More Lies, and they just want to spend as much mana as possible going for this Traumatic Critique. Ashling's Command. Okay. Drawing some cards, making some treasures. This is their end step. Drawn to 2 Sunken Citadels. Enigma Jewel. Okay. Play a Candy Trail. We'll scry draw. Another Candy Trail's fine. Play the Enigma Jewel. That will eventually pay off, I think, if we survive that long. And then I think I'm just gonna like pop this Candy Trail, play another one, completely tap out. That's fine. If you got it, you know. What did we mold to 5, right? I think that's kind of why I've been perpetually behind here. So it is what it is. We'll put this on blue. Pass it back to you. Okay, what you got? There's the Capstone. What do you hit? Sanar and Prismari Charm. They get to search their library for an instant and sorcery. I think they probably just kill me with the Molten Core Maestro this turn. But if you've never seen this deck before, I'm going to let it play out just in case you're curious to see this happen. So Molten Core Maestro, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, add an amount of red equal to that creature's power. So they're not infinite right now, but they do kind of have as much mana as they could ever need, especially with another cast off of Wild Idea here. Search for another, like, probably Ashling's Command to draw, and then eventually get a really, really big Maestro to just hit me with, and maybe some Stallions in the mix there. I don't know. Pretty likely that they win from this position. Rapturous Moment. Draw 3, discard 2, add mana. Million bajillion mana. I guess all they need to do is cast a big Traumatic Critique. Another Maestro, even more mana to work with. Search for big Traumatic Critique and do me in. Okay, they have done it. They find the Traumatic Critique, they blast me in the face for 1,000,000, and I die. Kudos. Let's bring in the Flash Freezes. Soul Guide Lantern. Are they on flow state? Surely they're on flow state. Skip on the Hamlet. Bring in a couple Soul Guide Lanterns. Bring in the tablet, or the voices. Bring in the Seam Rip. Let's go for Settle the Wreckage in this matchup as opposed to the Spectacular Pileup. I think it's got a little more versatility, and it helps us hold up counter magic a little better than the Pileup does. Keep the Erode. Let's go down a Jewel, perhaps, just to try to fit some of these cards in. I'm not sure that this is the best 3 steps ahead matchup, especially with all the other counter magic we're bringing in. Get Lost is fine. Skip on the Reclaimer. Skip on a Flagship. Eventually we win off of a Flagship, right? Maybe we'll just go down to 1 Soul Guide Lantern, and then final card. I think I like the Erodes here. 61 card special? Not really sure what to cut. 23 lands. Seems okay to me. Maybe we just cut a Monument. A little slow. Basically, we just need to win the early game by interacting through their early Maestros and Stallions. They are relatively threat light. This is a good hand by the nature of, like, having mana, having eventual payoffs. We can hold up a turn 2, No More Lies, and eventually cast an Ugin, which I think will be pretty good. Play a little draw go. I gotta cough real quick. The ninja cough. I did it off camera. 2 mana. You got the guy. I think if they have the guy, they go for the guy here, but I do have the No More Lies. They don't go for the guy here. Play a tapped Citadel on... The other one's on white. I guess it doesn't super matter. We'll put this one on blue. Our mana is good. I mean, that's pretty key for us here. We will eventually cast this Ugin, I believe. Unless they go for the guy plus Spell Pierce here. Spell Pierce for my No More Lies. That could be good for them. And the guy, of course, is their 2-drop, Molten Core Maestro. I am going to make them have the Spell Pierce here, I suppose. They did not. Blue, blue, white, white. I guess I just play the Demolition Field here. Eat their Mistrise Village. It's something I eventually have to concern myself with. And I don't think I'm ready to cycle the Valor's Flagship quite yet anyway. Doing this on this turn is also pretty good because they're not really going to be able to do anything with 4 mana at instant speed, probably. If I waited a little longer, 5 mana at instant speed could be an Ashling's Command, but maybe they make use of this. I'm not really sure. Grab a blue source, I think. Kind of threaten to no more lives here. Or sorry, a 3 steps ahead. Tablet. That's very good for them. Tablet resolves. Into a useless mountain. Wait, no, they haven't played a land. Into a very useful mountain. My bad. Sunken Citadel. Once more. I think I have to just cycle the Valor flagship here, so play a plains. Pass it to ya. A lot of mana here. See if they have the gusto to go for the improvisation capstone. It would be very good. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you just can't beat that, and that's okay. Maybe I win through it anyway if they hit a bunch of garbage, but looks like they're playing a little scared. Which I like. The more scared they play, the more likely it is we make it to the very late game. And I think I'm better in the very late game. Hopefully, maybe. They're pondering. Rocking the Kingpin of Crime sleeves. Gotta love it. I like how it almost looks like he's coming off the card, like he's that big. Ashland Command, draw 2, deal 2 damage to each creature. That's fine. They probably should have made treasures, but on to another Ugin. Well, we're close to Ugin. Get lost. Play an abandoned air temple. Pass. Garbage in my hand. Rips a consult. Hope is fading fast. Oh, please don't capstone me, bro. I can't take it. Oh, what am I gonna do? Mistrise Village. Okay, maybe they wait another turn. Mistrise Village. I get the fun tax here. Uncounterable Color Storm Stallion. Don't care. Swing it in. I'm just gonna get lost this. Whee! And then I get to Ugin the Tablet, which will be nice. They might spell pierce it anyway, but at the very least, it'll like kind of set off a chain of events where maybe they spell pierce it, and then I go for another Ugin, and they like tap out for capstone, and I get to actually stick an Ugin after that. A road. They might just counter this, but gotta go for it, I think. Tapping out. Greatest spell pierce of all time. RIP and Peace Tablet. Do you have another land plus capstone? Question mark. Restless Spire. Color Storm Stallion. Possibly popping some maps. Now the real question is, do I go for Ugin Part 2? Or do I actually play around the Spell Pierce this time and wait until I have 9 mana? Ugin Part 2 doesn't even kill this Color Storm Stallion, right? So maybe waiting a turn anyway to see if I hit the 9th untapped mana is better anyway. Enigma Jewel. Not doing a whole lot here. No Agna Kelada really paid off. Let's just hold on to this, I think. I think I just have to erode the Stallion, right? And yeah, let's just erode the Stallion. I guess we'll do it on their upkeep. I did not mean to cast this Enigma Jewel, but it is now on the stack. I misclicked. Yes, play the Citadel. Pass it to ya. I am now being scared. I'm now playing as the scared one. Go for the Erode here. Pay for the ward. See what you got. They could have like a Burst Lightning, kicked Burst Lightning just to make another horsey. Get out to pick up the Stallion. I don't care about that at all. That is totally fine. Draw into a Prismari Charm. Okay. Hello? Color Storm Stallion. Question is, do I commit the Ugin next turn? Paying the 1 ward to kill the Color Storm Stallion? I think so. At the very least, I kill the Stallion, right? Even if they have Spell Pierce, I've dealt with the immediate threat. Boy, I'd love to resolve the Ugin, though. Candy Trail. Could just be holding up the Prismari Charm, right? I think I'm going to go for this. At the very least, I kill the Stallion. And they can bounce the Ugin, I suppose, but that's not that good. Disdainful Stroke. Okay. Could be worse. Could be worse. We're kind of primed and ready for a really, really nice Valor's Flagship draw. We have a lot of really good draws here, and it doesn't seem like they have the aforementioned improvisation capstone that I've been so afraid of this whole game. Maybe they just cast a stock up and hit it, but Candy Trail, letting us see a few cards here, giving us a bit of a cushion. The Unfinished Genius on the field. They're eyeing my Enigma Jewel. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't you concern yourself with my jewels. Don't concern yourself. One little bit. You know what? I can craft this with Ugin, can't I? I didn't even really consider that. Ugin has activated abilities. I can't craft it with the Valor's Flagship because it's not technically a permanent with an activated ability, right? I think? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Play Candy Trail. Petrified Hamlet, huh? On Mysterized Village is not bad. Does Machines is a really nice draw here. And Flash Freeze to fend off Improvisation Capstone. I think we like all of that. Sack the Candy Trail. Does Machines... Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to hold on to the Hamlet. I think I'll just give up the Hamlet here. Even though it'd be pretty nice into the Mysterized Village, I think I'll give it up. Hold on to the Flash Freeze and pick up my my Candy Trails out of the graveyard here. Get out on Does Machines. Okay, fair enough. Suppose we go for this now. Pass it to you. Completely tapped out. What you got? Maybe I'm supposed to hold on to that for one more turn. Yeah, that was maybe a bit of a rookie mistake. Anytime games go this long, though, and we're just like, we both have interaction on the stack and hidden information and all that, I start to zone out a little bit, I will admit. They hit a Disdainful Stroke off of their capstone, or their tablet, which is useless. If I go to craft, they can Prismari Charm, but I am drawing this Flash Freeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can craft with the Ugins and the Candy Trails. Ugin, Candy Trail, does machines. They have a wild idea. They're searching. They have the improvisation capstone in hand. Creating a treasure. Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe you're not so bad, Enigma Jewel. Maybe you do something in the late game. Let's see if it's any good. I've never done this. I don't think I've ever done this. We'll hold up blue white. Send the signals. Let's go for it. Fuck it. Whee! Oh, I can exile the Valor's flagship. Interesting. So let's exile Ugin, does machines, Candy Trail? Does machines doesn't do anything, but I think I want to just leave a Valor's flagship in my graveyard for future does machines. If you're curious, I had to Google this because I was curious. Enigma Jewel does not work with the with the level up piece, but I do get to activate Ugin's ability here, which is nice, and copy it. Draw some cards, gain some life. That's all pretty nice, but it doesn't interact with the does machines because well, because it's a class, and I do get to activate the ability, but it, like, you only get the benefit of the class ability from the text of the class itself. Question is, do I let them bounce this, or do I counter this and try to win through my Enigma Jewel? My Enigma Jewel Ugin. I think I kind of like the Enigma Jewel Ugin. It seems kind of hard to interact with, huh? Gain life, draw cards. Hit a land drop. We hit a Soul Guide Lantern. I'm not sure how relevant this is, but we do have it. We'll see. Pass it to you. Drawing a couple extra cards every turn is kind of neat. Gaining some life. They're definitely going to resolve the capstone. That's the choice we've made. We'll see if it's enough for them. Tishana's Sidebinder tablet, doesn't matter. Maybe they just deck themselves at this point. I can just gain enough life and draw enough cards to kind of fight through it. Anything they could do. This has turned into a really weird game. This has turned into a really weird game. I've kind of, like, mentally I gave up hope several turns ago, but this has kind of reinvigorated me. Not gonna lie. Very, very interesting. Of course you can copy Ugin's abilities. How could I be so silly? I didn't realize my opponent was playing so slow, by the way. Have I commented on this? I think I have. They are several minutes behind me as far as time goes here. Several minutes. A lot to think about, I suppose. And they can't just attack my Enigma Jewel. So, maybe eventually this ultimates. 2 loyalty on my Enigma Jewel, by the way. Makes a treasure off of Sonar Unfinished Genius. 25 cards deep. Potentially will just deck themselves with the capstone before they ever hit anything relevant. And once again, if I draw my flagship, I'm feeling pretty good about that. As far as just kind of winning out of nowhere goes. They do have Ashley's Command in their deck to deal 2 damage to each creature target player controls, so at instant speed they can manage my ooh, Flash Freeze. Oh, that's a really good draw. Draw some cards, gain some life. This is kind of fun. I didn't even really consider this possibility. But it's pretty cool. Agnikella is nice. What else can I do with this? Nothing. I could candy trail in a in crisis. I think I would only do that in crisis. Let's fire up the Kella. Little draw discard. Whenever I activate any ability that isn't a man ability, copy it. I may choose. Holy shit! I completely wrote off. I completely wrote off this this side of the Enigma Jewel, but it's all worth it. This league, it's all been worth it. Holy smokes! Wow, any ability, so I can double draw off of the Soul Guide Lantern. I don't know if their graveyard's that relevant. I didn't realize. I didn't recognize your game, and I forgive you, or I apologize, Locus of Enlightenment. Holy smokes. Go for a Voice of Victory. With the Flash Freeze, I think I just counter their Ashling's command, maybe? Huh. This has turned into a really interesting game. Double up activated abilities from Abandoned Air Temple 2. Makes my Voice of Victory a 3/5. And I can do that. Hide on the ceiling to exile my Enigma Jewel. Aw. We had our fun. I would say we're officially in crisis here, though. Let's pop the candy trail. Damn. That was fun while it lasted. Voice of Victory on the field. Pass it to ya. Their stuff re-enters. Interesting. Capstone. I think I let them do this. Holy smokes, they just exiled a lot of cards. 13 cards left in their deck. Trying to bounce my voice, that's fine. I'm at 31. I have a Settle the Wreckage that I can't cast this turn, but at the very least keeps me from dying to like a big dumb combo attack turn. They have basically no board presence right now, so let's hold on to this Flash Freeze for something more like an Ashling's Command, perhaps. Goblin Sorcerer. Is the Molten Core is not an elemental. Interesting. Okay. But Color Storm Stallion is creating a treasure. Color Storm Stallion. Do I just counter this? No, no, because I can settle the wreckage, right? Not this turn, but in the future. I can just counter the Ashling's Command. I think that's a little more important. They're going to be able to make a copy of this Stallion anyway, but I really just want to deny the... I don't know. I guess maybe that wasn't the right play. They went for treasures and copy the Stallion. And then they also get to Wild Idea to make even more guys. I still don't think this is a lethal attack. It maybe would have been if they made a copy of the Stallion there. So maybe it's right to just counter that. Or maybe I was supposed to counter the Stallion in the first place. They Wild Idea. They what? No, they just have another Ashling command. Holy smokes. But now they can't Wild Idea, and this is how much damage? 15 plus another little bit. Okay, down to 8. Alright. Okie dokie. Whatever you say, Chief. Let's leave up mana for at least one Settle the Wreckage. I doubt we need more than one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go Does Machines. Running out of cards in their library, interestingly enough. I think I want to just pad my life total a little bit with some candy trails. Just what the doctor ordered. Does this voice of victory matter? I actually don't think it does at this point. I think I'd rather just have 2 settle the wreckages, probably. Level up the does machines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I do have to be somewhat concerned with the burn plan, right? Grab a candy trail, grab a Valor's flagship to eventually maybe win the game with. And then I can play 2 candy trails, sacrifice 1, and settle the wreckage, holding up mana for Spell Pierce. All of that seems okay. Do a little scry. I don't know, maybe it would have been better to just hold up 2 settle the wreckages. But I think this will be okay. They haven't seen the settle the wreckage yet. And a flash freeze on top that we can grab if we need to off the candy trail here. I think that's pretty good. I mean, I have to settle the wreckage, I guess, anyway, but in the future, a flash freeze will be pretty good. Improvisation capstone. Okay. Big horses. The biggest horses you've ever met in your damn life. This game has become so weird. What are we doing here, Stelios? Don't we have better things to be doing with our lives rather than targeting Color Storm Stallion with Ashling's command over and over? Question is, do they have counter magic at this point? If they have it, you know, but they probably aren't on that much counter magic, given the nature of being a tablet / capstone deck. They have a wild idea. I guess they could search. The thing is, they only have 8 cards left in their deck, so they could have a final piece of counter magic left, but they also might not. They have Disdainful Strokes. They've demonstrated that, but we've seen 2 already. And their Mistrise Village is turned off, right? Unless maybe it's not turned off. Is it technically a mana ability? No. Okay. It is not technically a mana ability. A million horses coming in. Let's see if it's good enough. See if you have counter magic here, I suppose. Go for the settle the wreckage. We're back in standard, baby. In a big way. You got the stroke? Do you got the stroke? That's what we want to know here. 5 minutes left in your clock. Very, very weird league. Very, very weird league. My opponent, when they see settle the wreckage on the stack. We're back, baby. We're so back. Okay. Woo. Living at 8. We got some life gain. We got some counter magic. We got a big Valor's flagship to cycle and a second settle as backup. I think we're winning this one, and I don't think they can win the next one in 5 minutes. So, feeling like another match win, perhaps. Despite all odds against us, Molten Core Maestro, too little, too late. 6 cards left in your deck, bub. Timer counting down. Turned into a super weird game. But we'll take it. We will take it. Should I just hit him with the good game? Is that BM? I'm not going to do that. They consult the star charts. They put 2 cards in their hand from the remaining 6. It has to be like double kicked burst lightning is their only way to win here, right? But maybe they cut some burst lightnings? Because I don't really have creatures to kill? Pop a candy trail. Maybe they just get me right here, double burst lightning. That'd be so funny. Another candy trail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I just pass here. Maybe I play another candy trail. Being able to like pad my life totals probably more relevant than having an extra pilot, right? Probably a little more relevant. Do some scries. Monument. I don't think any of this matters. We are not winning. Like, legitimately. They are going to deck themselves. That's basically it. I guess maybe I go for a big soldier swing if I, or a pilot swing if I have to, but they're going to deck themselves or the timer's going to run out. So let's just play to that angle. No need to actually try to win this game. They're not going to cast this. They're really not allowed to. Are they choosing to cast it? They're literally just going to deck themselves right here. No. Oh, wait. Yeah, they are. If they cast the tablet, they are dead. Because they'll just draw with no cards in their library. Crazy game. Petrified Hamlet on Mistrise Village getting a lot of mileage here. They do cast the tablet, so they die. They are dead, officially. Well, GG. Shake your hand. Move on to the next one. What a weird-ass game. Wait. Does this trigger on main phase? Oh, main phases. Okay, they're not dead. But they might as well be. Settle the wreckage. Blockers on the flagship. There's no way they're surviving this turn. There is no way they're surviving this turn. It's been a fun one, I gotta say. We definitely had, you know, some bad moments, a lot of good moments. Tears were shed, laughter shared, warm embrace of a loved one. A lot of wild ideas being thrown around here, you know. Very colorful language, and this guy also is here, whatever he is. 2 minutes left in the clock. To my 15 minutes left in the clock, by the way. Surely they know they can't win. Hey, remember Settle the Wreckage? Yeah. It is Settle the Wreckage. We're back. We're so back. And even if they counter this, okay, they finally scoop it up. Way to waste my time, Stelios. Holy smokes, I forgot. That was game 2. They once again have 2 minutes on the clock. I'm just gonna submit. They cannot win with 2 minutes on the clock. It's physically impossible. Physically impossible. Oh my god, we're going into game 3. Stelios, my guy. Come on, let's focus up. All right, perfect. Snap keep. Settle the wreckage, at the very least. Will be pretty good. Voice of victory. Gonna be hard for them to win through that, I think. We have another white source for a future settle. I think I'll just lead on the Enigma Jewel here. Maybe hold up Flash Freeze for a turn 3 Color Storm Stallion. That's kind of like the only way they win, right? Pass it to ya. But once again, 1 minute and 20 seconds just is not enough time. Swing it in. Plays a land. Passes? Question mark? Very strange. That's fine. Enjoy. Get lost. Okay. Get lost is nice. Let's go Citadel on white here. Just pass it back. One minute left, officially. Clock ticking down, 4 mana. Gets to swing for 2. I can do this all day. I think I go for a get lost on the Maestro here. And then maybe I play a voice, hold up Flash Freeze. Seems all right. I'm going to assume they're going for a Spell Pierce here. Consult the star charts. Oh. Interesting. Oh, so they could consult, make a treasure, and then fucking die to the timer, I guess. It's just not possible, folks. It's just not possible. You make a treasure, you maybe hit your Spell Pierce, and then this Get Lost sends you into oblivion. I will see you in Hell, Stelios. Bye-bye. 15 minutes left on my timer, by the way. Maybe I just sit here for like several minutes and make them contemplate what they've done. You draw, and you are banished to the Shadow Realm. Good day, sir. On to the next one. Match 5. 4-0. Weirdly enough, through all of this, 4-0. It's actually kind of an okay hand. Turn 1 Jewel. Cycle the Spectacular Pile Up. Maybe we get, eventually get our monuments online. Could be okay. I'm mostly keeping this because I have nothing to lose at this point. I've kind of done everything I've ever wanted with this league, this list. 4-1 at the very least is going to be good. Let's keep it. Let's hopefully have ourselves a good final match here against Vivian Reed. Mulliganing down to 5. Hopefully playing Raccoon Tribal would be actually incredible. I don't think I've seen Raccoon Tribal probably since Bloomburrow came out. Tried it myself a couple times. Not really a whole lot going on there. Especially when Badgermole Cub was meta. Really hard to argue against that. But you know what? Maybe now that all that other shit is banned, maybe there's a chance Raccoon Tribal is the truth these days. Lead on the Enigma Jewel, of course. Blooming Marsh. The nasty little rabbit. I love this guy. I'm going to go for the Enigma. I'm gonna go for the Demolition Field here in their upkeep, or after they draw rather. Take them off of this Blooming Marsh. Could make their mana a little bad, and then I get to also cycle the pile up, and also maybe just kind of pretend I have No More Lies. Maybe I get to mess with them a little bit that way. Nasty little rabbitses. I love this guy. Woo. Incredible stuff. Okay, Sunset Sabo. Yeah, that seems pretty good. A nice little classic combo here. Nasty little rabbit and Space Wizard. We will take 2 damage to the chin. I hate to cycle this Spectacular Pile Up now, but I do need to draw some action here. Hopefully we'll see you again, my friend. Monument. Aang's Iceberg. If it's feeling like an Aang's Iceberg kind of situation. Keep them from triggering their nasty little rabbit right now. I think that's okay. Let's just go for this now. Discard our extra jewel. I know if I wait to play the monument, like, I can discard on the ward there and accrue some value back that way, but it seems a little slow. I think I'd rather just answer their guy now. Okay, nasty little rabbit doing some nasty work here. What else you got? You got any more of those little guys in there? Slumbering Trudge. I love this deck. My opponent's doing something awesome. Favorite deck so far. Abandoned Air Temple. Monument. Okay. Not really much we can do here. Best draw now is probably just like a Valor's Flagship or a board wipe. Those are the kind of the 2 things we got going for us. Maybe I even sacrifice the Aang's Iceberg here just to get my scry on. It'll give him a draw off the Outcaster Greenblade with the Sunset Sabo entering, but I actually just have to draw a board wipe here, right? Or I lose, so I think I kind of have no choice but to go for this. Ugin, No More Lies. Neither of those would do it. Gotta respect the nasty little rabbit tech. Okay, Okay. Hey, he's nasty. Somebody stop this guy. He's got a carrot and everything. Bringing the settle the wreckage. Love to see it. Seam rip seems good. Flash freezes seem good. Let's go down a jewel. Looked a little poor there. Let's go down 2 jewels. Interaction is going to really be key for us here. Ugin is eventually very good in this kind of matchup. Cut the Esteli. Cut a couple monuments. We will eventually win as long as we don't lose. We will eventually win as long as we don't lose. So this is definitely the kind of matchup where just focus on not losing for a little while. You will eventually win. Maybe we even cut the second Ugin. It's just expensive. Try it like this. I'm assuming they're just straightforward creature aggro. And, you know, maybe they have, like, Unholy Annex in the build, too, perhaps. I could see that as a possibility with the Black Splash. We shall see. Okay, this is good. Yeah, this is pretty good. We'll have No More Lies eventually. Counter Magic, obviously not very good against Surak, but board wipes, can't really complain about that too much. Can't really complain about that too much. With the Erode, it's all right. Also just get to draw a discard with the 3 steps ahead, which is kind of nice eventually. Show me a nasty rabbit. Show me your nasty little guy. Duress. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. If I were them, I think I'd just take the No More Lies if they really cared about it. Or maybe the Erode is most likely to, like, be relevant. I don't really, you know, it's fine if they play Surak on 3. I guess I don't love it, but Desolation Prowler, aka what is the classic version of this, the Golgari guy, Putrid Leech. This is just Putrid Leech, right? But in mono black, seems very good. I'm excited for this to potentially be good. Name Restless Cottage here, definitely in their list, if I had to guess. Opponent seems like a knower. I respect their deck building prowess here. Desolation Prowler seems like a real card. Not gonna lie to you. 2 mana 4/4 is essentially what it is. Gonna be a little tough to beat that. Another Prowler. I will counter this. Show me a nasty rabbit. Trudge. Fair enough. Kind of a slowish start for my opponent here, not gonna lie. They attack in, pay some life, hit me for pretty big. Flash freeze. Okay, I guess I just pass. Not super ideal, but I think I'd rather have access to my flash freezes here than tap out just to try to hit my land drops, you know? Because they could go, like, Leatherhead. And that's a little scary. Night Howl Pursuer. X while you control creature, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm not going to counter that. That can resolve. Hits me for 4 again. Flash Freeze looking a little worse than I thought it would when I put it in my deck. Let's 3 steps ahead. Try to hit our land drops here. Hey. Discard a Flash Freeze. It's a land drop, huge. We can go for a Does Machines. Oh, no, I can't go for Does Machines and hold up Flash Freeze, so we'll just pass again. Eventually, we will hit this spectacular pile up. But we can hold up, you know, cycle of Valor's flagship and chump for a turn, which is pretty good. And then if they go for like a Leatherhead, then I'm kind of chilling. I do have to hit another untapped land, truth be told. Weird that they're going for the Prowler life right now. I mean, I was clearly just going to block there, right? Kind of an unnecessary investment. Another Prowler. Untapped land. We wipe the board. I'm going to assume this is all pretty good. Whee! What you got? All creatures lose indestructible, importantly, perhaps. You cannot overprotect this one. No restoration magic, no Dawn's Truce. Duress is me. I bet you wish you had that Duress last turn, my friend. Gotta assume they're going to take the Does machines here. But maybe they see the hand of interaction and decide they've seen enough. Abandon Air Temple. Play a Jewel. Play a Temple. Pass it to you. Hang out for a little bit. Unholy Annex would be a problem if that's what they have in their list here. Surak would be a little bit of a problem. I'll just counter the Trudge. Yeah, I think it makes sense to just go for this now. Kind of surprised they didn't just tap out for it, to be honest. Another Temple. Let's activate the Agnikella here. Does machines is pretty huge. Oh, that was all my blue mana. Okay, fair enough. We can pick up our Valor's flagship. We only have the one artifact in our graveyard right now. Oh, there's a candy trail. Okay, let's pop this. Let's guarantee we have something in our graveyard for our Does machines here. Do a little redraw. Temple, Does machines, and I think we kind of just win from this position. Feels pretty unlikely. We drew into the Ugin as well. I guess we hold on to double Temple. Get rid of the Erode at this point? Is that a little cheeky? Perhaps. Perhaps that's cheeky. Basically saying, look what I don't need to win. Let's hold on to the Candy Trail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For something to do with Ugin if they go like double spell next turn, I suppose. The Pursuer. It's here. Get used to it, alright? The Pursuer's here. Get used to it. Playing Ugin. Draw a card. Gain some life. Pass it to you. GG. Feeling like a pretty good GG kind of scenario for us here. See if we can win on the draw. For all the marbles, potentially a weird 5-0. Potentially a weird 5-0. You know about my candy trail. You know I'm gaining life and drawing cards. Pop your Trailblazer. Make a million pilots. Swing for big lethal. All of this is fine. None of this matters anymore. None of this matters anymore. Pass it to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I also get to ult Ugin, which just grabs me all 4 of my monuments. Oh, no. I cut 2. Grabs me 2 monuments, which is also just lethal, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. X is 6. 6 pilots. Not quite 21 pilots, but not bad. Fire up the temple. Fire up the temple. Hitcha. On to the next one. Okay. The potential 5-0. Riding into station here. Go down to 1 monument. No, actually, I think I like our boarding plan here. Maybe Elspeth is better than Monument, actually, for us in this matchup, because at least it, like, makes a board and blocks, right? Yeah, I think I like the Elspeth here, actually. At least it blocks. For all the marbles. Match 5. Game 3. Losing all of my marbles. They are here. Presented before you. They mulligan. I keep. Oh, I keep. They mull to 5. Blue-white Enigma? On the strangest enigmatic run ever seen before on the MTGA Best of 3 Pro Circuit. Best of 3 Event Pro Circuit. Turn 1 Mortuary. The Wargling. Oh. Weird. Candy Trail. Why are they playing this card? Does machines? I think I'll take the first one. I think I'll take the first one. I really do need to just hit land drops, though, to be honest. So maybe I should have skipped on that. Could be my downfall. Duress is me. A lot of interaction. Takes the settle the wreckage. They have the fear in their hearts. But do you have a nasty little man for me? No. No nasties. Okay. I think I just does machines here. Nah, I guess I'll just pass. I'll just pass. Hold up no more lives for like an Outcaster Trailblazer. They could just Surak, I guess, but Sunset Sabo, I'm going to no more lives the Sunset Sabo. Much easier to deal with it on the stack here. Nasty little rabbit. Yo. Oh, it doesn't even have to attack. Oh, this card's actually kind of good. You just get the counters if you control a guy. That's pretty easy. Let's do machines here. Try to maximize our chances of hitting the land drop. We did not hit the land drop, unfortunately. Skip on a Valor's flagship. Skip on a... Get lost? Pass. We did not hit the land drop. Worst case scenario, they just like play a Surak here, I guess. And then all of our removal is kind of bunk. Intimidation tactics. Grabs a candy trail. Fine. Nasty little rabbit. Swinging in. Ugin. I mean, I gotta play toward hitting my land drops here, right? We hit a land. Huge. Nasty little rabbit. It's really big and kind of scary and nasty. Candy trail. Get some scries in. Boy, I mean, I think I have to like I just need to hit my land drops here, right? I can take one more hit. Or maybe I just erode this now. Maybe I just erode this now. We'll step on their upkeep. Keep them from getting the extra land. They go to draw. We'll erode the trudge. Yeah, taking 10 there is just too crazy, right? Do you have the Overprotect? Snakeskin Veil. Wow. I'm gonna get done in by this nasty little rabbit. In a major way. Oh my god. It's all I could ever ask for. I'm gonna do the same thing, basically. Pass. I'm not dead necessarily. Let you draw. Maybe I shouldn't let them draw first. survive this turn, potentially, if they don't have any, like, pump effect here. Nasty little rabbit. Oh, self-growing. Self-growing nasty little man here. Kara in tow. It's me down to 1. Enigma Jewel. Okay. Not doing a whole lot for us, perhaps, but actually, it's actually not that bad here. We get to settle the wreckage, the rabbit, and then next turn, activate does machines, place some, replay some candy trails, gain some life. It could be doing okay. Settle your wreckage. Curious to know what's in their hand, really. Trailblazer. Man, their deck is really cool, though. There are some card choices that I don't really agree with. Like, I don't see the vision on the Wargling here, but kind of feel like they were just like, search for power 4, you know, and then go from there. But I think you would skip the Wargling if I were them. If I were them, I would skip it. Fire up the Enigma Jewel. Does machines. Grab our candy trails. I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to grab the other guy. Spectacular pile-ups. I'm not going to complain about that. Sack a candy trail. I'm gaining some life here. Play another candy trail. I've already played a land. We don't really need an a tapped land, although we can survive with tapped land, perhaps. We go, like, wipe the board next turn, tapped land, Ugin, or wipe the board if we have to. Maybe there's a world where they kill me here. If they do have something like Overprotect. Outcaster Trailblazer. Kind of a nail-biter of a game here. Night Howl Pursuer. Yeah, they just don't have, like, haste. You know, that's kind of the main thing. Like, they have big guys, but a lack of haste means they're really, really susceptible to board wipes. And at this point, like, I don't know. I don't really see them winning this one. They had windows perhaps earlier, but things kind of ended up lining up okay for us here. Going up to 3. And I think I'm going to stay at 3 the rest of the game until I start gaining some life off of Ugin here. Wipe the board. Pass it to you. Does machines. I mean, just being able to, like, recur the candy trails over and over. Kind of backbreaking, no? Let's hold up this demo field. I don't know how relevant it will be, actually. But we can hold up demo field plus Ugin. Sorry, demo field plus Enigma Jewel here. Exile nothing. Gain life. Draw cards. I am inevitable. Pass it to you. Folks. Been an interesting run. It has been an interesting run. But I'm going to say that's it. I'm going to say that's the dub. Hard to imagine them coming back from this one. We draw into another does machines. Draw cards. Gains life. Play our does machines. Candy trails and flagships all day long. We can skip on the board wipes at this point. We can skip on the counter magic at this point. We have an Ugin on the field. We level up our new does machines, pick up our candy trails. And we just kind of do this the rest of the game. They draw, that's fine, does not matter. We're not really incentivized to kind of do anything at this point. Flash freeze on top. I'll skip on it. I don't know. I don't think it matters. Pass it to you. Sunset Sabo. Fine. Attack and draw. Gaining all of my life back, all of their hard work undone. Gain life and draw. Hey, there's Elspeth. Nice. Elspeth is kind of nice with our Valor's flagship too, huh? I think I'll just discard the Hamlet here. I have a Demolition Field in play. Snakeskin Veil, fine. I will not discard. They could have gone for the Snakeskin Veil after I paid the ward, just a heads up. Small little optimization for all you fine folks out there. Create soldiers. Play a Hamlet. Name the cottage. Pass it to you. Could level up my Does machines, but I also could just make like 3. Make that 6 pilots off of the flagship here. 2 abandoned air temples on the field. Plus flying from Elspeth. I think I just take this hit if they swing at me. I actually think they're just dead. If I were a guessing man. If I were a guessing man. Ugin, appreciate you taking a hit for me here. Cycle the flagship. X is 3. 6 more pilots on the way. And I think my opponent has realized the game is over, perhaps, at this point. I think they've realized. Draw cards. Counters and flight. Maybe they haven't realized. Maybe they haven't realized. Counters on my guys. Counters on my guys. Counters and flight on my guys. GG. It's nice at the very least that this is like a very grindy control deck that actually can just kind of win the game eventually, you know? That I don't need to just like exist with my Elspeth for a little while on the field, or my like I have this kind of combo that closes out games, which is pretty nice. As far as like ease of play goes and not having to actually sit here forever. Whee! Well, GG folks, 5-0. I did not expect that with this list, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fun. Yeah, it was a little bit of a weird scuffed league. Some of those matches were a little weird and scuffed as far as like people leaving and the timer kind of coming into play, but I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it. Let's say I won the mental game. A sick little 5-0 for us here. Let's open some Hobbit packs. Not much to say about the list. I think you can kind of tailor it to suit your needs. I just kind of wanted to show off the potential of the Enigma Jewel. The fact that it, you know, I think your first thought is, oh, activated abilities of permanence, like, you know, artifacts with activated abilities that you pay into, clues, so on and so forth. But you can do a lot more with it. And apparently you can flip it and make it an Ugin. As we discovered, that part was pretty fun. Thranduil, the Elven King, has all activated abilities of all elf cards in your graveyard. Whenever another legendary elf you control enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Okay. So you can give this indestructible with the Shield Bearer, Iron Shield Elf, Iron Shield Maiden, whatever that card is called, which is kind of interesting. Like a big engine that you can make indestructible is kind of cool. Whenever another legendary elf you control enters. Cares about legendary elves specifically, though. Maybe not that good. Uncover the Moon Letters. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may draw X cards. X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. If you do, discard 2 cards. Seems bad. Too expensive up front, right? This is no up the beanstalk. the Notary Hobbits, 3 fine young gentlemen, 5 mana for 3 1/1s that add mana for each halfling you control. So if you untap with all 3 of them, you get 9 mana, 9 colorless, which is kind of fun. Halflings, not Kithkin, introducing halflings. Okay. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out. If you're here up until the final minute, you're a real one. Shout out to you. 2 hours. Wow. The new record, longest league run, I believe. Appreciate you hanging out. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.